Hey, Matt from Hidden Machine right here. These are my little mitts, and today we're looking at some comics. Now, you may know on the main channel, we do a thing called Flipping Through, where it's kind of like this. We flip through gaming-related print materials, whether those are catalogs or manuals or comics or making of and art books. Today, this is just a bastardization of that idea. I have a massive comic collection. Well, massive by my standards. And I need to thin it out. So this is a book. I don't even know where I got this. These are not the kind of comics I'm usually reading, to be honest. Conan, Revival. But a few years ago, I got deep into comics again. I was a big comic guy as a kid, and in my teens, I got out of it for a while. Then a few years ago, I co-published a few issues of an anthology called Trashbird Comics, and I started going to more shows and just buying up a bunch of comics. So today I'm going to look through my long boxes and thin out my collection. I got to get rid of some stuff. So let's take a look at it together. And I will say comic number 1, Avengers No Road Home, is going in the giveaway pile. See ya. All right, first up, we've got Cult from KZ Comics. This is issue number 3 by Philip Lewis Freed, 1986. So this is probably around the time the Ninja Turtles were booming. You were getting all these funny animal comics that were inspired by the Turtles. We have Cult, the armadillo that won the, not the West, the future. Here we have Gumby, Hubert, and Howard the Duck. Definitely do not have the rights to those characters. Looks like this was made... where are they based? Ohio? I grabbed this purely for how weird it is. I love finding these anthropomorphic animal comics from this era with so much copyright infringement. I mean, we got a Batman back there, other characters you might recognize. And you can really feel that this was just made with someone's 2 hands, you know? I don't have the heart to get rid of this one. It's so weird. Here we have the atom-splitting radio... Oh, I'm sorry. They are the middle-aged, government-tested, atom-splitting, radioactive, democratic, left-handed, freelance Green Beret koala bears. Again, making fun of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The Turtles. I'm also a big fan of this, this carriage driver over here. This is pretty good shit. Oh, man. And they're meeting Batman. Legally distinct Batman, the Caped Crusader. I love it. I love it. Bonus pinup by John Stefan. The back cover illustration is really sweet, too. I like how much detail is here. I love the Marvin the Martian and the other characters here that you might recognize. Yeah, this is a keeper for me. This is the kind of weirdo stuff I just can't justify getting rid of. How about we do this? We have 2 piles, left and right. So we got 1 and 1. All right, I'm just pulling stuff out of this box. I also don't really have a great organization method. So let me pull a stack, actually. Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle, another Tarzan comic. Why did I buy these? These must have come in a bundle, because I'm not really into this stuff. It's a fun ad for Marvelware. A very nice Clark Bar ad. Some Red Sonja looking hot. The Thing looking demented. Yeah, the ads are the most fun part of books like this for me. And now the Beatles in Marvel Super Special number 4. Yeah, this is not my bag, baby. No, it isn't. This is going in the giveaway pile. Spalding presents Street Ball. I do like this ad. I'm a big fan of the ads. That's in the giveaway pile. What the hell? Another? Oh, I know why I got this. All right, so who worked on this? No one I'm super familiar with, aside from, of course, Mr. Jim Shooter. Yeah, this is just this kind of high fantasy stuff or whatever it is not really what I'm into. This came in a bundle, I think, of things, so that's another giveaway. I think this Arak, Son of Thunder, this is what I picked this up for. Now, this has just enough. Oh wow, that's a great Mario Brothers ad. Is that the Mario Where Are You song? Yes. If you don't know the song, I'll put the little clip here.
Something's coming up the plumbing for Luigi's in a bind. Giant turtles out to get him, creepy crabs are right behind. Fighter flies, cheaper shites, they're all coming out the pipes. Mario, where are you?
Oh, it's too good. I love this kind of stuff so much. Yeah. Now, this looks almost identical to those other comics, but I often look at these kinds of things just for inspiration when I'm thinking about my own art. Love the design of this guy here and the flaming sword. Really like the panels here. I mean, this is kind of like... I mean, this isn't the most mind-bending comic stuff, you know, like the layouts or the art or anything, but it's just something I find, you know, kind of exciting. Love this page. Love seeing the blood. The Warlord toys look sick as well. Yeah, I mean, this rules. Killing the giant serpent. This little guy. Clearly, I didn't read it. Oh, yes, I remember this now. He's going into hell. You got Cerberus. Yeah, a Karen here. Yeah, this is good shit. I love the style of this character here. It's also my favorite era of Swamp Thing. Alan Moore. Cassette. Rick Veitch. Yeah, this is a keeper. I love the imagery in this too much. And also, nice ad for Bump and Jump from Intellivision. All right, that's going in the keeper. So we're 3 for 2. 3 and 2. A free comic book day issue of Conan. I don't like this kind of stuff. Now, there's an era of comics, and maybe I'm just a snooty bitch, but when I see this, you can see every single fucking surface has to have this gradient on it that almost goes to white on everything. Everything's got to have like the gradient on it, and it just looks so fake. It doesn't look like it looks like digital art to me. It looks lazy to me because of that. Now, not all digital art is lazy, but it's just when I see it in direct comparison, even the cover of this, like this coloring to this coloring, I just find that the quality, not the quality, but the qualities, the nuances of this, so much more enticing than this. Yeah, that's definitely a no-go for me. All right, we've got One Shot Press Midnight Quickies. Now, One Shot Press is an indie operation that I think is actually still active. I think you can still contact the captain, I think he's called, and get some books from him. I love this scene here with the the witch preparing her meal here and someone imprisoned underneath. And she's naked and has huge honkers. You can see this is issue 1 of, it's Midnight's Quickies. So this is probably Midnight. And One Shot Press has a very classy logo. Let's look at the back cover real quick. Hey, we got Midnight in the flesh. It's Heather Bunn. So you got that. I like the handcuffs as a belt. Oh, this has something inside. What is this? How did I not know this had a giant poster in it? Hold on. Can I see this without extracting it entirely? Oh, I can't. Okay. That's okay. We're gonna do a little surgery and pop this bitch out of here. If it's not apparent, as much as I love comics and I love my little collection, I'm not precious about it. They are made for looking at, holding, touching, flipping pages. All right, let's take a look what this poster is, because I like the art in this. Oh, is it just the cover? Oh, it's not. Oh, wow. It's a pinup of Midnight looking kind of hideous, kind of horrifying here. With the... You can't really see this all in frame. This is a pretty large poster. David C.J. Bunn, one-shot press, painting by Bill Thompson. I love how this looks. This looks like old motorcycle art. This is going up on the wall. I don't know how I missed that. Maybe I didn't miss it. Maybe I just forgot it existed. Anyway, Midnight's Quickies is a compilation. Oh, this was signed. There, I think, is the owner of the business, Ray Ferrone. Those are the 2 kids and his wife. Captain Jolly, that's the character I was thinking of. Kind of their mascot. Now, these are kind of like, you know, presented as super edgy, you know, but not super, super, super edgy. That makes sense. And when you get to read it, it's actually not that edgy at all. But this, again, is the type of weirdo, kind of underground shit that I'm really into. I love a drawing like this. This is great. I love just the look of this whole thing. Yeah, this is a keeper. Oh, man. I love the bootleg characters. That's going in the keeper pile. We have another one-shot comic. This is the Captain's Jolting Tales. Again, more, you know, I mean, obviously, yes, this is extremely amateur, but I love it. Amateur. I held that word out. Kind of funny. Man, I love this look. Yeah. This is a keeper. I knew it was a keeper just by touching it. Great pinup on the back cover, too. Another issue of the Captain's Jolting Tales. Now, I found 1 or 2 of these at a local thrift shop that doesn't carry any comics normally. And I was like, what is this? Great character design, the Captain Jolly character. Some War Tales. We got big tits with protruding nipples, guns, aliens, all the stuff I'm into. This stuff is just too good. Love this. And, you know, it's hard for me to look at a lot of indie kind of stuff on this level today because so much of it is done on an iPad, it looks like. Like, it looks like it's all Procreate comics. And it all kind of looks the same. Everyone's got, like, the same line weight and the same shading and drawing techniques. Like, you can see so much more of a person's work when they're working with paper. And that's really what interests me. Now, that's not to say I don't like any digital comics or anything. It's just not as easy for me to find, you know, lowbrow stuff that I can really get into when it's all digital. That's another great pinup. Would you believe it? Another one. This is their Christmas special, it seems. Again, more of the same. I think some of the same artists return through this series, if I recall correctly. Oh, man. And again, to speak to another problem I have with art going all digital, when you started seeing, now, this comic, not the greatest looking comic I've ever seen, obviously, you know. Still, it has a lot of charm. This is a great page. But something like this, where you got the computer lettering, this sticks out like a sore thumb to me. This does not match the intensity of the drawing. I mean, again, yeah, it is very amateur stuff. The perspective and scale and things and anatomy are all over the place. But I'd like to see this person's lettering or someone do the hand lettering, you know, rather than do it with a font like this. It just doesn't stick out the same way. Like, even this looks great. This lettering is great. Oh, and there's... Is this a new comic? It is. Okay. I was going to say, oh, they hand lettered the last panel, but no, I was incorrect. Yeah. Captain's Jolting Tales. We have him dressed as Spider-Man. I have that issue somewhere here too. Okay, kiddies, now watch this close. I'm only going to do this once. This is your brain. Blam, this is your brain on crack cocaine. Any questions? Yes, this is from the anti-crack era. Brilliant. Marvel's not going to publish something like this, okay? That's a keeper. Here we've got an issue of Grimjack. This is from First Comics. I never really read Grimjack. I just like the art. I love how busy this cover is. Now, as you go through this video, you'll start to see the kind of stuff I'm attracted to in comics and why I would keep or get rid of a certain book. I love the coloring process here too. It looks like markers. I don't know what the process would be. It looks like colored markers in a way. Yeah, I mean, spreads like this, I just love looking at this sort of thing. These zombie characters. I love also just how much pink is in here. But Grimjack, I don't know anything about him. Oh, yeah. He's bringing back all these rock and roll heroes, I think, to help in the battle. Got the Beatles. Little Richard. I don't think Little Richard was dead at this point. I have Donald J. Trump over here. Youngblood. There's a little B story in the back here. This too, I mean, I love these designs. This is so fucking weird looking. Yeah, the Grimjack is a keeper. Now, I don't know anything about this series. I don't even know if the writing's any good. Honestly, I've never read this. I've only looked at the pictures. Just gonna be honest. Some comics I read for the writing, some comics I just like to look at the pictures. This I think I just kept because I love how McFarlane drew these characters. This is in terrible condition. But this was obviously a very exciting time in mainstream comics for a lot of people. I mean, this is what kicked off like the Image stuff was McFarlane's run on Spider-Man, as well as, the runs of all the other Image founders and all the kind of momentum that was happening in the industry at the time. I love the way this era looks. It's so grimy and fucked up and got so much unnecessary, just so much unnecessary line work going on all the time that I love that kind of shit. I want it to look like you spent 50,000 hours doing it, That's a keeper. So far, I can't bear to get rid of anything. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I've got another issue of Cult here. I think it was 75 cents the prior issue, right? It was 75 cents. It was $1.50 in Canada, the previous issue. Still $1.50 in Canada, but now in the US, it's 95 cents. They had to go up 20 cents between issues. This is just really just more of the same. Same quality stuff, But I don't know. I don't know why I have such a soft spot for kind of, I mean, look at this. I can get to the front of this section here. In the night, it stalks, searching out its prey, waiting for the right moment to strike. And it's a giant anthropomorphic lion hunting the big boy from, the restaurant mascot, the big boy. This is incredibly stupid. Not really even drawn all that well. But it's so charming to me. I don't know. Maybe it's this kind of stuff that inspires me to go, I can do that. I can make comics too. And I have made some comics. Maybe we'll find those in the boxes, but yeah, I got to keep this other issue of Cult as well. I'm also realizing a flaw in my plan here, trying to keep the stacks on the tables, but we'll see if that actually bites me in the butt or not. Now, was this Evan Dorkin who did these? Who was it? No, I guess not. Rick Parker. I don't know why I thought it was Evan Dorkin. Did he ever work on Beavis and Butthead? I got another issue right here. I'm just looking real quick. Rick Parker. I guess I'm just mistaking Rick Parker for Evan Dorkin somehow. I love Beavis and Butthead. The comics are stupid. They're very well drawn, in my opinion. They look, you know, the show, if you watch the show from the beginning, which I've been doing with my wife lately, the animation style changes wildly from episode to episode for a long time before they kind of honed in on a more consistent style. But I love these Beavis and Butthead comics. These are so stupid. I like them more than the Simpsons comics, which is another show I really love. Yeah, I can't bear to get rid of this either. Wow, Combo Man. Can you name all these things he was made from? We got the Hulk, Iron Man, Magneto, Punisher, Captain America, Wolverine, probably Daredevil, Deadpool, Spider-Man, Punisher, Human Torch, Silver Surfer, somebody? Did I say Venom? I don't know. This is a Punisher. Did I say Punisher? I don't know if that's Punisher's. Yeah, it's not coming to me. Someone knows, and they're screaming it right now. But that's two more keepers. Am I gonna go away getting rid of anything? The Shadow. Bill Sienkiewicz is one of my favorite comic artists. I think his work is so cool. I got this book not that long ago. I like how he's just credited with pictures. I would love to read the entire run of this. Like, I read this issue and I was like, all right, that was pretty cool. Oh, Wasteland's another series I really like. Written by Del Close, the godfather of improv comedy, some might say. That's cool. Some old gaming shit. Yeah, I don't know. I love Bill Sienkiewicz. Panels like this just get me. Panels like this just get me. Wow. I am just so inspired when I see his work. Always wanted to see him do a take on Max Payne. And actually, he did some art for Max Payne 3. I don't know if it was just fan art or if it was, a commission, but I saw a Max Payne 3 image he did that was really good. All right, here we have The System by Peter Cooper. This I grabbed out of a dollar bin because I thought it was interesting. It's a wordless comic, if I recall. And it's all in this stencil style. Which is pretty interesting. I mean, well, it's not entirely wordless, but there's no speech bubbles. But honestly, as much as I appreciate the technique, the art doesn't really do it for me. If that makes sense. It's like, I think it's great, but I'm not that turned on by it. So, Chaykin's work is someone I'm really into, and well, we don't agree here. That's going in the giveaways. Wasteland. Now I've got a bunch of issues of Wasteland here. This is like a weird little anthology. I don't think any of the books are directly connected for the most part. You have a bunch of different artists working on these. The stories are all over the place. I think Del Close. I think that is Del Close right there. I think he appears in some of the stories. Yeah, I've got a bunch of these. Don Simpson, one of my favorite comic artists again. Love his work. He do the interiors as well. Ooh, classic rock. Oh man, this is so good to me. Who drew this? Michael Davis. Love this style. I feel like his pen is just like literally just bleeding on the page, you know? Yeah, that's so sick. Yeah, these are all, it's sort of like sci-fi, fantasy, kind of, you know. Oh, why do I have two of these? I think one of these got printed with the wrong cover, or is this just a double? Oh, I just have two of these. All right, well, one is going in the giveaways. I don't need 2 issues of that. But I do love this. I have almost a complete run, and I might complete it and get it bound. That could be fun. Trencher. Now, this is from, oh God, why am I forgetting the guy's name? Is it Keith Giffen? Yeah, okay. So Keith Giffen is a prolific comic artist who, for a short time, started drawing in this very complicated style. You can see everything is, you know, I mean, you can see it all throughout the interiors. It's this, you know, it's like these ridges. Everything kind of looks like a key to me, like the bumps you'd find on like the edge of a key. I don't know if that is a clear analogy, but that's just the vibe it gives me for some reason. Oh man. Yeah, I think this looks so sick. It's such a unique style, and it was very poorly received, from what I've read. Now, I don't know that for sure. But that's what I read, was that it was very poorly received. And I believe he passed away not too long ago. Just as an aside. But I love this, so I got Trencher 1. I found Trencher 2. Trencher 3, where he's fighting Supreme, it looks like. I got an issue of Lobo that's done in that style with Alan Grant. You can kind of see some of the interiors there. Another issue of Lobo and Fantaside. Now, I only have 2, 3, and 4. I don't have issue 1 of Lobo Infanticide. Maybe I'll try to find it. But those are also keepers for me. Keith Giffen, Simon Bisley is another one of my guys in comics, who I really just love to see his work anytime I can. Oh, wow, there's a double cover? That's kind of interesting. Maybe it's because it was so violent on the inside there. I love this stuff. Again, I don't actually read Lobo. No offense to anyone. The art is enough for me. You know, and I'm not like a big comic nerd guy. I mean, I am, but you know, don't give me shit for it. I guess what I'm saying. You know, I'm gonna enjoy art my own way. But man, I love this stuff. This is so cool. So this is, you know, he's close to that style in this one, but he's not entirely in it. I got another issue of Lobo here that, again, it's got a little bit of an unhinged style. Man, it just looks so good to me. Yeah, so this is Simon Bisley doing the art and Keith Giffen doing the plot and breakdowns. I'm wondering how much he was working from Giffen's stuff here. Oh, look at that. Another double. I have a like a newsstand one and a delivery one. How did I get 2 of these? Oh, I don't need 2 of them. So another one in the giveaway pile. Again, I just really like the art in these quite a bit. So it's just messy and dirty, violent. Another issue of Lobo. Now, is this a another Lobo limited series? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, I'm missing one of the issues. I actually found these in a big stack of Lobo comics at a local bookstore a few months ago, maybe a year ago now. But, gotta keep them. Another kind of anthology that I got really into, Duplex Planet. I don't know who the chief editor was on this series. It looks like I'm not wearing pants. See my knee here? My knee poking in here. I am wearing pants. Where is my knee? How's my knee showing sometimes? Look, there's my pants, okay? I don't want people to think I'm sitting here in the nude as I do this video. Anyway, what the premise is, I believe, if I'm remembering this, off the top of my head, as told to David Greenberger by Abe Surgikoff, I think these are like stories he overheard in his apartment complex and got different artists to interpret them. And, again, all over the place in terms of content, like what are the stories about, the art styles. Really, I'm kind of slipping off the mat here. Damn, I love that stuff. This all looks so fucking good to me. Got one of these. Got number 4, number 5, 6. Is that that's Cooper. There he is again. Return to the Mac. Is he doing the interiors as well? I don't immediately see him. Oh man. Doug Allen. Oh, we got a little Pimpus there. Yeah. I think this stuff is too good. This is a great collection. I don't know if this has ever been collected. I say it's a great collection. I mean, it's a great collection of issues. Kind of looking like Max Payne right here. I gotta keep the Duplex Planet. All right, we got here an issue of Dead World. This is number 5. Got the little gimmick cover here with the cutaway. Troy Nixie on the pencils. Galen Showman. Randall Thayer. To me, this is like a more badass version of The Walking Dead. I love the look of this stuff. Again, there is an amateur kind of vibe to it that I really dig. That's so cool. Yeah, this is a keeper for me. I like this stuff too much. Damn. Would love to have gotten one of these. Look at that. Damn. Vincent Locke. Yeah, Vincent Locke. That's who I thought did Dead World. Maybe he did the original. This is volume 2. I was confused there. I was like, that's not the Dead World, guys. But that is a keeper. All right, we got another stack coming in here. Got Kid Eternity. 1 of 3 by Grant Morrison on writing, and who is this? Duncan Fegredo? I love a lot of Grant Morrison stuff, and you can see how this is like adjacent to a lot of things I really like, whether it's Bisley or Sienkiewicz. For some reason, this book didn't really do it for me. I tried to get into it. I don't even know how well it's showing here because of the glossiness of the pages, and it's hard to kind of open this book all the way with the crack in the spine. But I just wasn't that wild about this one. Even though the art is really, really sick. I mean, this is a really wonderful looking book. But it just didn't really do it for me. I've got 2 issues here. I've got issue 1 and issue 3. And it looks like they formed some kind of... maybe a triptych if you have the rest of the issues here. Issue 2. I don't know why. Yeah, it's hard to explain why this is just a bit over the line for me. It's kind of got that quality that I'm amazed by, but also not super like turned on by. I mean, turned on mentally, you know, not getting horny. But I'm not really turned on by Alex Ross's art either. I think it feels very static. Yeah, these are going in the giveaway pile. All right, we've got Dread Rules by the legendary Simon Bisley. The Legend of Johnny Biker by Bisley here. This, I think, was printed in 2000 AD, I think. Is that the magazine that Judge Dredd appeared in originally? This is more, you know, violent nonsense, but man, I mean, this looks good. But you can see the way the pages are formatted here. I think this was formatted for a larger, you know, magazine size. What is it they call, like a prestige format? Because it just doesn't look right. I mean, even this panel especially, you can kind of see it's like the bigger spreads look good, but the other panels look a little awkward at this size. I'm just wondering if this was reprinted from the magazine, but still, I love this art, especially the beginning pages. I mean, this stuff is so good. I don't know. Yeah, Bisley did the first one. I'm not sure if this is. I'm not sure if I'm wrong about the magazine thing, but it does not seem like it was formatted for this size initially. Yeah, that's a keeper. That's a yes from me, dog. All right, we've got another issue of Judge Dredd that, again, I think was reformatted for comics. Who worked on this? None of my favorites. So I'm not sure when these were originally published. I'm trying to see real quick in the indicia here. I don't see anything about the original publishing date. But these are the early case files. And this is, you know, I mean, it's definitely lovely work in a lot of ways. But again, it doesn't really do it for me entirely. I don't know if it's the... I don't know what it is. I mean, that's a really brilliant panel. The print quality is a little weird on here, too. It is funny to see Judge Dredd looking more like, you know, bad box art Mega Man. Yeah, this is not totally doing it for me. I think that's going to go in the giveaways. I've got another Judge Dredd. Who's up on the art here? Ian Gibson. It's the Bisley stuff that really gets me. You know, if it's not him, it just doesn't hit me the same way. It's not like I'm a huge Judge Dredd fan in general. I just love some of the artists who have worked on him. Yeah, the colors are brilliant. Again, I love seeing a lot of pink and red and stuff in a comic for some reason. It's just, that's really nice too. But I don't know. I really think it's the formatting that looks funky to me in these. Like, these were not meant to be in this size. But I'm ditching it. Let's see here. Some more. Now, Steve Dillon, I do like a little bit more as an artist than some of these other guys. Yeah, not terribly exciting stuff for me for some reason. I'm very particular about what I like, and even though one thing I like might look almost maybe identical to another thing I say I don't like, I can't explain why. Yeah, the werewolf guy is not doing it for me. You know, it's going in the giveaway pile. Do I even want to look? The new look Judge Dredd. I've read a bunch of Judge Dredd that I really enjoyed, but yeah, this is just kind of bland for me. I think I found these all in a little stack and just grabbed them on a whim. Trying to get, trying to see what I'm into. I do like the variety of different artists attacking these books, though. This also looks like it's like at the wrong aspect ratio. Like it looks like it got squished for the printing. Doesn't it? Everybody looks so elongated. I really wonder if these books were from a magazine format and got shrunk down for this, and maybe it was done without the love and care that I would like to see in a book, you know? Not really doing it for me. Damn, how much Judge Dredd do I have that I... See, this is why I gotta look through these, because I've got stuff I love and stuff I go, oh, I grabbed it on a whim, I read it, and then I put it in the long box. These really look like they were printed at the wrong aspect ratio. Someone can confirm that. That's awesome. Love the vibrancy. Lots of cool panels. But I don't know why. Everything looks wrong to me. Yeah, I feel like this is not... Yeah, look, you can even see a page number here. The original page number. There in the corner, so the margin would have reached out differently. I think these got printed at the wrong... Quality Comics? I'm gonna... You're a suspect right now. All right, we got more Judge Dredd. I gotta look this up because this is killing me. I'm really digging the character designs, but something about these books just doesn't sit right with me. Yeah, nobody would draw this with that big of a border. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm entirely wrong. Another one. Jesus Christ. Got Ian Gibson on art this time. I like that title. Vienna. Nice lettering. Yeah. The Nightmare Gun. Not doing it for me. Really not doing it for me. It's going in the giveaways. All right, here we have Stephen Bissett's Tyrant. I think I have a full run of this. So this was supposed to be a comic book series about the life of a dinosaur. And it was and to my memory, again, well, I guess not a wordless comic, because there's plenty of words. I think there's no dialogue, though, because I think it's all dinosaurs. And you're seeing, like, a dinosaur evolving. And it's basically just an excuse for Bissett to draw a bunch of cool dinosaur pictures. I think this was not long after, if not right around the same time, he was doing Swamp Thing. And some of this looks like it could be pulled from a Swamp Thing, you know? When was this? This is 94? I thought this was like 87. Wow. Okay, well, I'm totally wrong there about the Swamp Thing stuff, but... Man. I just love his work. Showing the, the dinosaur in the egg. Got ad for Xenozoic Tales. I covered this series covered it pretty well in my Obsidian documentary on the main channel. We do a little detour into Xenozoic tales and Cadillacs and dinosaurs. So yeah, I think that this was intended to be a much longer series, and he stopped it and never went back to it. And I don't think it was on purpose. But, you know, from what I understood, it was a very time-intensive comic that maybe, you know, he just didn't get to finish it. But I gotta keep these. I love his work too much to get rid of it. Death Wish. I don't remember buying this. Oh, I have a couple issues of this. Okay. DC and Milestone. I don't know why I picked these up. Curiosity, I suppose. I probably read these and said, okay. I'm having a vague memory of this story. Another issue here. I like the concept, but the execution is just a little bit off for me. Yeah. No, this is not doing it for me. These are going in the giveaway pile. Now, I say giveaway. Will I really give these all away? Most of them, even if you think you might look them up, you're like, oh, wow, it's valuable. I paid maybe $1 or $2 for almost every comic I own. I shop almost exclusively in the dollar bins. So, to me, if I lose $100 giving away a bunch of comics, it's not that big of a deal to me because easy come, easy go is how I feel. Pyramid Comics Barbaric Tales. Not that I would just, you know, throw away $100. It's more just like, I don't think I'm going to go through the trouble of trying to sell anything. Okay, this is another book that I feel like could have even been kind of printed at a weird size with how the margins are here, but it's a compilation. And the first story in this compilation, Damn Log, Escape from the City, like even the way City is written here is so cool to me. This whole style is so, like, it's so wild. It's almost impossible to look at from afar. You kind of got to look at each panel really up close to take it in. I feel like this book would look so much better at a larger size. And the other stories in the book, like, don't come close to my memory. Yeah, not, I mean, interesting in its own right, but not the same level of skill. And also, this cover is nuts. Like, the use of white like that. That's a keeper for me. Cold-Blooded Chameleon Commandos. It's another Ninja Turtles joke, parody kind of book. Not drawn that well. But not drawn so poorly that it really blows my mind. Yeah, I'm not moved by this. I think I saw this in a dollar bin and just grabbed it because I thought it was funny. But, the Cold-Blooded Chameleon Commandos, those are getting given away. Eddie Current, a 12-hour book by Ted McKeever. Now, my understanding again is this was I'm trying to remember this from, you know, a couple years ago when I first read up on it, but I think he just did the entire book here in 12 hours. I could be wrong about that. Maybe the story is done. Tells 12 hours, but I really think I read that he drew it just, you know, very fluidly. Let's see here. I think if he mentions it in the interview. No. Vic and Blood. This is a really fun book. I think I have a few issues of this. But yeah. I love Ted McKeever's stuff, but this book, again, doesn't super interest me for some reason. I like his style, though. I really do. But I think I'm gonna let it go. Insect Bath. Number 1. This was given to me. That's a wild ass panel. I think when I ordered a different book, this was included in there. Some interesting styles, but I think ultimately I'm not crazy about this. I wonder if I know any of the artists in here. Alex Deegan, inside cover Noel Frybert, Scott Roller, Sammy Hargan, Julia, Alex Delaney. Oh, I got this. Okay, it's an Alex Delaney thing. Did he draw the one that I thought was all crazy? He did, of course. The thing that I go, damn, I love that stuff. Why isn't the rest of the book like that? This is Alex Delaney, who is a guy I really enjoy his comics. Yeah, I think I got this specifically because his backstory here. I say backstory, I mean his backstory. I mean the story he has in the back of this book. I gotta hang on to that for now. Dawn. I saw this at a local shop. I grabbed it because it was like 50 cents or something, I think. And I've always been curious about Dawn. Dawn was a book I saw a lot as a kid. You know, obviously it's a book about a guy who likes to draw tits, but there's more to it than that. You know, the marketing was extremely horny, and she basically had a see-through shirt on, even though you'd never really see her nips entirely. You can definitely see the shape of them, you know? It's heavily implied nipple. This is not really that great to me. I mean, it's great. It's really well done. But in terms of interesting me, Joseph Michael Lisner. I love titties as much as the next guy, but that's going in the giveaway pile. I have an issue of Concrete. Concrete is a book that I think is really great. A friend lent me the entire series. I read through it recently. I have a few floppies. I don't know if I'll keep this now that I've already read through it. Maybe I'll see if he wants it, because the ones he has are a different format. They were reprinted. Here we've got an issue of Swamp Thing. This is one, I think I have this in a collected edition as well, but I'm just so into this era of Swamp Thing and the art in these. Yeah, I love Rick Veitch so much. Now this is after, I think Rick Veitch wrote for a while after Alan Moore left the book. So I don't really know what's going on in the story here, because it is like a continuing thing, and sometimes it's hard to come in the middle of it. But yeah, I'm just such a huge fan of Rick Veitch. Same reason why I have this one. This is one of the Alan Moore issues. Yeah, I mean, it's not even fair to look at this stuff separated from the rest of the books, because it's like, it tells such a great saga. It's the saga of the Swamp Thing, you know? But I'm gonna hang on to those. Gonna put Concrete over here. Now this is the book I did not buy for $1. I think I paid more like 20 bucks for this. And it's one of several Prince comics. Prince and the New Generation. Prince with the pistol shaped like a microphone. And the inside, unfortunately, is not as interesting to me as that cover. But I thought this is a really, just a wild-ass book. Wow. Chopping heads. I love Prince's music so much. I love him as a personality. I love him sassing people in interviews and all the stories about him being an asshole. Also about him being incredibly generous when he wanted to be, but not always the greatest guy. But also, how do you get so fucking famous and not have a few stories about you being terrible get out there, you know? Everybody's fucked somebody over. So, not the most interesting book, but I hang on to it because I love Prince, and I just, you know, it's an oddity. I think maybe I'll read it 1 or 2 more times, make sure I got my fill, then pass it on. This is a sketchbook from, I don't know how you say this guy's name, John Totleben? He's a comic artist who I've always really loved his work. I think he also worked on the era of Swamp Thing I really like a lot. And these are just sketches he did. This is just, you know, his sketchbook material, completely unrelated from his, you know, hired work in comics. Some figure drawing stuff. Yeah. That's great. I love this stuff. Yeah. This is number 2 in the Tundra sketchbook series. Tundra, I think, was the comics company started by one of the Ninja Turtles creators. I'm forgetting who. But damn, who was it? I don't know. He is currently working on a project with Rick Veitch titled The Ironic Man. I need to find that. I didn't know they did that book together. I love them. I love those guys. I love this. I'm keeping this. Oh, but what I was going to say is Tundra did a bunch of cool books and I think went under shortly after. But man, when it was around, they did some great stuff. Den. Richard Corbin's Den. You know, I think this is from Heavy Metal originally. I love Richard Corbin's stuff. Den isn't like my favorite thing he's done. It is pretty interesting. I love to see this kind of stuff. His fight scenes are great. But, yeah, I think I can let this one go. I have other Richard Corbin works I like a lot more than this. Not my favorite. Here I've got something that I used to have a nearly complete run of The Dreaming, which is a spin-off of the Sandman comics that DC Vertigo was putting out a long time ago. It's about the dream realm and the things that happen in and around it. And I have a bunch of issues of this. Dave McKean did a bunch of the covers, who, you know, I love his cover work. I think he did pretty much all the Sandman covers as well. Lots of different artists on these, lots of different stories, different styles. It's a book I've always thought was very interesting. It's not the kind of book you can flip through. Oh, wow, the Space Bar. This is another game I covered in my Obsidian documentary. Rocket Science Games. You can get this fixed up through Zoom platform. Yeah. I gotta hang on to The Dreaming. Although I'd love to see, maybe they put a collection together. I would buy it if there was like a trade of oh wow, that's a great Clay Fighter ad. I would buy a trade of The Dreaming. In fact, I'm gonna set these to the side and see if there is one. New Mutants. This is a recent comic that I think Chris gave this to me. Chris, friend of the channel, Chris Rigsby. Sienkiewicz did the work in here, or maybe he just suggested I pick it up. I can't remember. Not my favorite Sienkiewicz work. The coloring, again, I don't know. The digital, it looks like the digital coloring to me. It's just not, maybe I like his black and white work more, but I do love the inks in here. Just, I don't know. It's just such a wild ass style. Now that's a keeper. When I was like 19 or 20, 21, my girlfriend grabbed these when she went to go see Jeffrey Lewis. Jeffrey Lewis is a folk singer, anti-folk singer, who has been making music for decades, and he's super prolific. I like a lot of his songs. He's really honest and funny and smart. And he does these little slice of life diary comics about his travels, his dreams, things he's thought about. Fuff and Guff. I think the Fuff is like the reprint of Guff, if I'm remembering correctly. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here. It's dense and lots of real estate. I mean, he uses even the cover to go ahead and start putting panels in. Yeah. I love Jeffrey Lewis. I'm keeping these shits. All right, here we've got Splitting Image. I'm sorry. This is one of the parody issues of a parody of Image Comics at the time. Don Simpson did a lot of work on these. It's dumb. It's dumbass shit. It's very stupid. Yeah. I don't know. Not the greatest book. I got these out of curiosity. I don't know. Sometimes I like the parody shit. I also like a lot of Don Simpson's work, but it's not. Yeah, the Jolly Green Drag Queen. Maybe that's not transphobic. It just I remember some of the jokes and so I go, I don't know. It's okay. I don't know if I'm gonna keep these. I don't know. I love Don Simpson's art, but like the jokes are just not landing for me. And I don't really have that much affection for Image Comics to begin with. I do like seeing the Trencher ads. Yeah, these are a big old maybe for me. One more Don Simpson. Again, I just like this guy's art. Oh, okay. These are some horny panels here. Drawn robots, drawn ladies, drawn spaceships, drawn an implied penis. This is like a sci-fi comic he did that I got another issue of it here that got a slightly more realistic style. Okay, and it is just a sex comic. I didn't remember there being full penetration in this comic. I don't know if I need to. Do I need to censor that? I guess I'll look it up and see if I do or not. This is not getting ad revenue either way. Yeah, I like Don Simpson stuff, so I'm keeping those. That's just more interesting to me than the Image stuff. Speaking of Image stuff, Spider-Man. Now, that's not an Image book, but Todd McFarlane did start Image, and he did draw a lot of Spider-Man. I've had this since I was a child, and I didn't even find it all that interesting back then. The story itself, or even the art inside, I just loved this cover. I've always loved this cover. Something about it. It just, I don't know. I think maybe it's just I've seen it so many times as a kid. Love that cover. Don't really want to get rid of that one. All right, we're nearing the halfway mark on this first long box. Okay, so here is Vic Blood. I mentioned that earlier. Harlan Ellison and Richard Corbin. The Chronicles of a Boy and His Dog. And yeah, I mean, you can see it's a post-apocalyptic adventure story of a boy and his dog. Violent, edgy, dark, grim, black and white. Again, kind of horny. I really enjoyed this book. I don't know how many issues there are of it, but I really like this. I'm definitely keeping this. We've got here 2 issues here of Comrades of War. And I gotta move some stuff around here. This is a book I got entirely based on the cover art. I love the way this is printed, especially on the back here. That one's not as interesting. The interiors, however, did not really excite me in the same way. I don't know why. There's something about this. Compared to what's inside is not, it's just not as exciting to me. Even when they do get to the to the gods here, whatever they are. And you can see, you know, different warriors from different eras are together here. Again, you know, the inside not really doing much for me, but these monotone prints look so sick to me. I should just hang these up. That's probably what I'm gonna do, because I'll never read those again. Very bland stories to me. Stark Future. What is this? I don't remember this at all. Justice in Herod? Okay. I see why I got this. This is a book I don't remember, but I love this style. Almost looks airbrushed at points. Yeah, this is sick. Yeah, that's a keeper. 6 from Sirius. Wow, love this cover. I don't know what this is. Oh, this is one of those Epic comics, kind of... Epic was Marvel's attempt to do something for adults. Wow, Cerberus. It's kind of like heavy metal, if you ever read that. Yeah, I love the look of this. These characters are great. This stuff's great. That's a keeper. I don't know anything about this story. I'd like to find out more. The Escape Team. I think this is actually a comic that belongs to my wife. Got mixed in with my stuff. I'll have to ask her about this. We've got Ninja Funnies. Ninja Funnies number 2. Oh yeah, this is my shit. Like the way these guys are drawn, the weather, the rain. That's sick. Oh, this is sick. Yeah, this is so good. Love this. I love the color too. Like the cover is wild. That blue is so nice. Okay, I don't know what she's suggesting here, but I'm willing to try it. Oh, this is why I was thinking of Evan Dorkin. Because Evan Dorkin did the Bill and Ted comics, who are, you know, a nicer version of Beavis and Butthead, I'll say. Yeah. That's why I have these, because I like Evan Dorkin. These are fun. These are the continued adventures of Bill and Ted. Very goofy stuff. I just love how this is drawn. It's drawn in such a fun way to me. It's so busy. That's a keeper. We have the official Rip Kirby by Alex Raymond. Alex Raymond created The Flash to compete with Buck Rogers. Not stopping there, he went on to create Jungle Jim as a rival to Tarzan, Planet of the Apes. Rip Kirby is considered by many to be Raymond's finest effort. It's his last strip before he died in an auto accident while creating it. Oh, Raymond is considered one of the 3 greatest comic creators of all time. Yeah. I really like this style. It almost looks like clip art because it's become such a, you know, such an iconic style, but this is just, you know, a man putting ink to paper. Love the size of some of these panels too. Like that. Jesus Christ. Speech Bubbles, large print edition. Yeah, I really like this kind of stuff. These are great caricatures. These, like, the facial expressions are so good. Here we have an issue of Berserker from Gauntlet Comics. Looks like it was signed. This cover is bananas. To me, this is like a hardcore version of what Image Comics was trying to do. I love the numbers on the margins here. Everything here is so cool to me. I think this is so badass. This is just like a hyper violent, more badass version of so much stuff that was happening in the, the comics boom of the early to mid 90s. Man, like these character designs are so cool to me. I don't know anything about this book, honestly. I should look it up. Who drew this? Aubrey Bradford, Steve Adams. These names don't ring a bell, but also I'm bad with names. But very cool. Love that book. Cinnamon. Is this a Boneyard Press book? Why do I have this? I know why I have this. I picked this up at a local bookstore recently, and it is straight up just a porno comic. Which, I find that kind of thing very interesting in a way. It's a superhero book as well. But there is also just plenty of nudity in it as well, so I don't know. No penetration, but kind of lowbrow. Not really all that exciting in any sense of the word. But I was curious about it, so I picked it up. This is definitely on the maybe pile for me. The Crow and Razor. Kill the Pain. So Razor is, to my memory, is a character kind of like a Lady Crow in some ways. And I really liked the way this was drawn. I don't think James O'Barr actually wrote any of this. Or drew any of it either, but I don't know. I just thought this was interesting to see these characters have a crossover. And I wanted to read it. I think this book cost me like $1.25 maybe. $1. Remember, it was cheap. But it didn't really do anything for me. And again, it was kind of just a horny comic. As you can see by the ads, all these busty ladies with their knockers hanging out of their shirts. Yeah, this is something I could get rid of easily. Whisper. I like the cover quite a bit. Why did I pick this up? Interiors are kind of boring to me. This may have been a book. I judged the book by its cover. Thought it was more interesting than it actually is. Seems like it's about a lady ninja. Yeah, I could ditch that one. Slasher. I think this is another book that came when I ordered something else. Oh yeah, look. Got a pinup on the back by Alex Delaney. Like I was trying to collect everything this guy's done, and I think I have everything that has been available. I wasn't sure what to think of this book. It was very interesting, actually, and I hate that I'm reading the last issue and didn't read the rest. I need to find the other issues of this or see if it was collected, because it's a weird book, and I really like the style. The colors are very interesting to me. But it's the final issue. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on there. So I'm going to hold that aside and see if there's more available. Shatter. Now, wasn't Shatter one of the first digitally colored comics? Isn't that its claim to fame here? I could be wrong. But I think it was. I think this is early digital art. Now I may be mistaken, but I really think it's just supposed to look like that, but regardless, the effect was very striking for me. I love how it looks like a old DOS game, really. Yeah, this whole thing is really cool to me. The dithering. That's a keeper. I love that style. It's so weird. Yummy Fur. This is a book by God, I'm forgetting the artist's name now. But he did a bunch of these. It's a kind of abstract, absurdist kind of thing, and it goes all over the place. Sometimes it gets really heavy. I didn't love it. I read a bunch of issues. I thought it was interesting, but for some reason just didn't blow my mind. Not that every comic needs to blow my mind, but I think I might get rid of that one as well. Here I've got 3 issues. I think it's a 4-issue series, which is kind of frustrating. I've never been able to find the final issue in the wild, and I don't like buying comics online. I like to find them at shops or at conventions. But this is Give Me Liberty, An American Dream. Is this a Martha Washington book? Is that the character here? I could be wrong. But I mean, it's good. It's good, interesting stuff. It's very violent. It's edgy. I love Frank Miller. He's problematic, and I don't like all of his work, and I think his work has gotten worse over the years. And sometimes it just seems like he is, I don't know, a xenophobic fascist, but I still like some of his comics. And also, it's just comics. Even if they have ideas in them that I find reprehensible, it's just a comic book. It's just a comic book. So, I'm going to hang on to these. I don't think I actually finished reading this. I think I read the first 2. I was like, oh, I don't have all the issues? 'Cause I think it's a 4-issue series, right? Doesn't say the end. I gotta look that up and find out. Here I've got 2 issues of Jimbo. Jimbo by Gary Panter from Zongo Comics. I think is like a subsidiary of Bongo Comics. Yeah, an imprint of Bongo Entertainment. Gary Panter is one of my favorite artists. He did all the early art for Pee-wee's Playhouse. And this is some comics he did in the mid-90s. It's a very rough style, but it's like super dense and funny and just absurdist, kind of funny bullshit. I love Jimbo. I think it's a really great character, a really great book. It's kind of like dreaming. I don't know how to put it. It's so absurd. It might not look like much by itself, but these books do a lot for me, and I love them and am keeping them. All right, I mentioned that I co-published some issues of a comic myself. This is one of those. This is Trashburg Comics, named after Plattsburgh, New York, or we had a little web series called Trashburg. This is in loving memory of Caitlin Donovan, our friend who passed. You can see it's it's a compilation. I don't mean to flip through stuff too fast, but you can see lots of different styles represented here. My wife did these. It's a good issue. A lot of different artists represented in this one. Did I do anything in this book? Can't remember if I did or not. I like this one a lot. I like all these a lot, actually. I thought this is a fun issue. Just trying to see if I actually submitted anything this time around. I did not. But I did the layout. This is another issue of that book that I put together with my friend Chris Rigsby. Cool piece. Oh, I did this. This is a strip I did about the last time I did mushrooms. I think I did the lettering for this strip as well. I did. Not my greatest work. I was trying something for the first time. But, yeah. And you can see lots of different styles represented here. Another issue. I think we did 6 of these altogether. Oh, I drew this one. I thought this was a very funny strip. You can read it in your own time. You can pause it there. Oh, I did this one as well. This one's not funny. Another one by my wife. Fun. See some of the back issues we did. That's me and the other publisher, Chris. Yeah, we're trying to get another issue of this off the ground. It's just hard. We took a long break from doing it, so hard to get the machine running again. I bought this not too long ago. This is wild. So even just this scene of Undertaker throwing Big Boss Man, who is drawn in such a funny stance here. They basically have a giant brawl throughout. I don't know, it's like the Richie Rich house. You got Vincent there, rest in peace. Love this. Off-model Undertaker. And we got Paul Bearer. I just thought this was so insane looking. I had to get this. This is Valiant, right? These are the same people that did the Game Boy comics that are crazy as well, and some of the Mario Brothers comics. I'm gonna keep that out and look through that some more, just for inspiration. This is another book I got not that long ago. Sherry Flanagan, I think I'm saying that right. One of my favorite, I'll say it, female comic artists. And she did these characters, Kratz and Bonnie. This is her sketchbook. And I go, wow, a Sherry Flanagan sketchbook? Crazy. And there were not that many of these made. This is just a little thing she put together. I was so shocked to find this. I think her work is so funny. That's... We're moving to a toilet. That's pretty good. The Germ family. Yeah. 477. I think it had like a edition number on it somewhere. $3 back in the day. Did it have an edition on it? I thought it was like, oh yeah, limited to 1,500 copies. Yeah. I like to see an artist's just, you know, raw stuff like this. Very cool find. I was really shocked to find that. This is a book I remember not thinking it was all that great, but I love the cover and I love some of the stuff inside of it, like this. Yeah, just these drawings. To me, this is just a Columbo. This is so sick. Yeah, nothing like mind-blowing, really. It's just, I just like the aesthetic quite a bit. Sometimes I just look at something like this just to feel inspired. I mean, that's very inspiring. I love a nice ass. Starstruck, another Marvel epic book here. Their adult line. This is pretty interesting to me. I love the colors. The colors are brilliant, especially on this paper stock. Now, this is too good. It's the colors that are doing it for me here. Great balance. That's a keeper. alternate heroes from Prelude Comics featuring the Solar Knight, the Crime Fighter, and the Equalizers. Now, the Equalizers, I feel like I had a Equalizers book. That back cover is pretty sick, too. Yeah. I remember loving this. Just for how, you know, how it was drawn. Some wild styles here. Very, like, you know, draftsman kind of stuff. Just, I don't know. It's like, it's not the most original style, but it's well done and it's got so much character, you know? Yeah, I like this one a lot. This is what a comic book should look like. What I think a superhero comic book should look like. All right, here I've got the only issue of Martial Law that I own from, what is it? Is it Denny O'Neil? I can't remember the guy's first name. Kevin O'Neil. Yeah, Denny, Kevin. I love this guy's style so much. I've never really been able to read much Martial Law. Love his character designs. I love everything about these books. I've just never been able to read much of it. Just because I've never seen it in a store. Except for this, which I bought immediately. Yeah, this really does it for me. So good. I gotta get more Martial Law. I gotta find out how to find that book. Here we have Brewhead, a very water damaged comic here. The first issue from Schism Comics. America's favorite blockhead. This was just weird, and I picked this up on a whim. Didn't love it, to be honest. It's funny, I guess. I don't know what got leaked in there. It's, you know, it's of a particular brand of style and humor that just didn't really do it for me. I just grabbed it because of the gimmick cover. No, because I was just very curious, but it didn't really do it for me. I do think I am going to let this one go. Sorry, Brewhead. Great cover, though. All right, here I've got The Protectors. I've actually got doubles of this, so maybe I'll get rid of one of these. These the same inside? They are. Okay, I only need one, really. So, this is an old indie comic from New York Comics, and it's got a commentary down at the bottom here, which I think is really interesting. And this, again, is in that same sort of amateur, sketchy style of many other books I've shown here that I like a lot. I don't know why this, like, I like this so much. It feels like a, you know, something a teenager would make. Well, Friday the 13th parody ad. The book itself is not even all that interesting, to be honest. To be totally honest, it's not that interesting. But I don't know. I just like it a lot for some reason. Come on. The Protectors. I like it too much. I gotta keep it. Who Washes the Washmen? They used to put Who Watches the Watchmen on the front of DC Comics in the 80s to promote the Watchmen series that was coming out at the time. All right, here we've got from Skip Williamson on the cover art here, Silver Screen. This is a weird book. I don't really get what's going on here. It's like a catalog, but there's also comics in it. This was such an oddity to me that I wound up keeping it. I think I will keep it still because it's just interesting to read. And I like the style. It's a very odd thing. It's a very odd thing. You can see descriptions of the films they're selling, I believe. Fantastic Voyage. I'm not sure if they were selling these on reels at the time. I think they were, actually. Nice little fake ad in the back here too. Dark Muse. So this is something I got because it has Rex Miller in it. I love Rex Miller. He did the Chain Gang novels. It's just, you know, splatterpunk is the genre of work that he was in. It's just, you know, just super edgy pulp. He did a little thing here. Rex Miller's Killer Bees. The bitch's butt belongs to Beelzebub. And I go, oh, God, this kind of sucks. I bought this because I heard he had a segment in it, and it was just that. And I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. Yeah, this is like a little fanzine, basically. Some pictures from some cons. That's nice. Is that Joe Vigil? It is. It's gotta be. Brother of Tim Vigil. There's an interview with Doug Bradley in here. This probably hasn't been transcribed anywhere, would be my guess. It'd be fun to do a full flip through of this. There's an interview with Joe Vigil. Love his work. And his brother. We'll see some issues of Faust, the book his brother did. Eventually in this pile. Another interview book. I got Comics Interview. The Comics Reader. Comics Reader. Comics Reader. These are just comic interview books. Some strips, but mostly interviews and articles. And yeah, I don't know. I love this kind of stuff. You know, this it's just cool to see these little bits of comic history, you know? They often have exclusive art. Was never reprinted anywhere else. Nice Star Trek piece. Very text heavy. Lots of small print text. Yeah, these are keepers. I think these are so interesting to go through. So this is a big stack of old hentai that was mailed to me. This doesn't really do it for me. I'm not into this kind of stuff. Is this hentai? Oh God. Ooh. It's not hentai. But it is, something. Wow, the wrestling stuff is sick. I actually didn't even look at these. I go, alright, I don't know. They were sent to me as a gift. Kind of a gag gift, I think. Yeah. I don't know. This one's really cool. The other ones, I don't even know how much I can really show in this video. I mean, I've shown other bits of nudity in the video. How extreme are these? Some of these are very extreme. That's actually pretty sick with the reverse screen tone kind of look. Yeah, this is just not for me. No offense to anyone who's really into this kind of stuff. I'm sure it's a blast for some. I need to find a horny freak who wants these. Maybe I am the horny freak who wants them. I just don't know it yet. All right, here we've got Rings of Saturn. This is a compilation put together by some friends of ours who we did the Trashbird Comics stuff with. They were regular contributors to that, and they put together a bunch of stuff. Little sticker they did of DeVito, Wolverine. Very ambitious project. A lot of photo references, like from people that we know personally. This is a really fun book, all over the place in terms of style and content and stories. Very ambitious work. I'm glad they got it done, and it came out really nice. Look, there's Chris Rigsby, the Trashbird Comics co-editor. All right, we got a few other issues here of Sienkiewicz's Shadow, which I got these more recently. I saw these at a used bookstore. Grab these. I mean, it's more of the same. I don't have the whole series. I'd love to read the whole thing because I'm very interested in what the story is. I'm only getting bits and pieces of it, you know? But can't go wrong with Sienkiewicz. Love his work. Definitely keeping those. Another issue of Shatter here. Again, more of the same, but I love the dithering and the style here. It looks so good to me. That's too cool. Got to keep these. Also got to maybe organize my books so my, back issues are all together. It'd make more sense to do that way, I think. This is an odd size. Constellation Graphics #2. This is another just weirdo book I picked up on a whim. Not really moved by this art. Yeah, I think I'm gonna let that one go. Here is another book that I really love, Faust. This is a hyper-violent, hypersexual book, very, very extreme book. Very, very extreme book. But recently, I got a large, I'll actually just grab it to show it. I recently got this, which is the book in a larger size. It's not going to show super well here. Yeah, very extreme stuff. I don't know how well that's coming through with the shiny pages, but it's got the covers in the back here. Yeah, so I grabbed this, which is the whole collection. So now, well, I got these issues here. That one's also pretty hardcore. That's very hardcore. I don't know if I should blur some of this stuff. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of these. I think I'm gonna sell my floppies. I think I'm gonna sell these. These are not cheap. These are not the dollar bin comics. This is more comics interview stuff. I should give this. There's somebody I should give this to. I think he would love reading this. I'm gonna keep that aside. Can't get rid of these though. These interview books I think are too good. So much knowledge in here that's just not transcribed anywhere else, which is crazy. I mean, I love to listen to like a long form podcast, a 2-3 hour interview with somebody. And it's like, man, like, this interview with the creator of Concrete. So yeah, it starts on page 4. I mean, this is dense. This is a dense comic interview. It's very small text, You're also getting all this like art from him you wouldn't have seen otherwise. Some fantasy novels he did the covers for. I just think that stuff's so interesting. So that's keepers. All right, we are at the last end of this long box, which was quite a bit of stuff to go through. Here we have Werewolf Jones and Sons. I think this is a bootleg that someone else did of Simon Hanselman's characters, if I'm remembering correctly. But this is just some, if you don't know Werewolf Jones, very antagonistic, drunkard, idiot. Yeah, I really like these comics. Yeah, this is just lowbrow idiot stuff. I love this. This is a local thing that was given to me, I believe. Pocono Medical Center. So this is about the coronary care unit at the Pocono Medical Center. So that's a heart. That's a drawing of a heart. It's got visiting hours, clothing, valuables. This is just so wild. See this, the heart with the hat. Would you guess that this was a heart and not just a demon or some kind of gremlin or monster? Here we've got a couple more issues of Eddy Current, which, as I already established, I'm not so crazy about. So I am going to let these go, even though I do think they're super interesting. I'm just not in love with this book. So, sorry, McKeever. Any McKeever fans. This is something I bought, and it was boarded funny, and I pulled it out of the bag, and the bag, I didn't know it had a sort of adhesive strip across the whole thing, and when I pulled it out, it ripped the cover. And this is actually a model. This cover, you put the different covers together, and it forms this like triptych. It's a very cool cover. But it's a photograph, the cover. You know, it reminds me of old Nintendo Power, Famicom stuff. Used to do this sometimes. So bummed I ripped that. I wanted it purely for the cover art. Another book I got purely for the cover art is Metal Thunder, Metallica and Step Dude, and Battle of Hallowed Ground. And it is just the members of Metallica fighting demons and shit. I don't even know if this is officially licensed or if this is just a bootleg. The art inside, not all that crazy to me. I mean, it's decent, but I got it. And I should probably just hang this for this cover where Metallica is in a crypt fighting a bunch of skeletons that are coming to life. I think this is so fucking funny and badass. I'm not even the hugest Metallica fan. I mean, I like a lot of their songs quite a bit, but I would say after Load, I don't even know any of the songs really. Like really. I guess I know like 6, you know? Maybe like I know like the single from each album that came out after that point, but yeah, I gotta just hang this up. I think this is so fucking funny. Here we've got another Prince comic, and this one I think is kind of, I think more interesting on the internal art than the other one was. Like, not even really that good. Honestly, the book is not that great. It's just an oddity for me because I love Prince, and it's so interesting to see him in a comic book like this. So, I keep it. I keep it because I love it. All right, here I've got a couple issues. This one's actually, these are all bagged. A couple issues of The Shadow by Howard Chaykin. Chaykin, who also did one of my favorite books, American Flag. And I got a few other Chaykin books I really like a lot. This cover's so badass. And it's, you know, him doing The Shadow. You know, Chaykin did The Shadow. Kavich did The Shadow. Chaykin seemed like he only knew how to draw himself. That's kind of what he looked like as an artist. I love his work. Man, all the sound effects here, this is so fucking cool. I think it looks brilliant. I really think it looks brilliant. I love his work so much. I love his coloring and shading and everything. The inks are so cool. The whole thing's so fucking cool to me. I love these books. I love Howard Chaykin's work. Yeah. Huge yes for me on the keepsies. The Eradicators. I have 2 issues of this. Nothing that special on the inside, honestly. It's neat, kind of. Again, kind of, you know, amateur-y kind of stuff. But it's from 86. It feels like it's one of those 86 books, like the Black and White Comics boom. Yep, 86. I just love these covers so much. I think the covers are really, really cool. So I think I might also hang these up. Here we've got The Puppet Master. All new adventures based on the hit movie. I love Puppet Master. And I love whatever this guy's name is. Switchblade? Is that his name? And again, love the way this is colored on the internal art here. It's got such a weird style. There could be no words in this for all I care. So cool. I love this. I would love to find more of these. Is this Malibu? Who did this? Full Moon? Eternity Comics. Okay. Yeah. I love that book. That's a recent pickup for me. Here we have Dreams of Ultraviolence. This book in quite a bizarre format here. But I was really intrigued by the style. This is a very interesting book. Very unique to me. Hard to kind of show it all here. Yeah. It's violent, obviously. It's kind of violent and strange. There's a couple different stories here. It's fighting a baby. Maybe he's not fighting a baby, but he's talking to a baby. Yeah. I only read through this once, but it was a wild ride. And I really like it a lot. I like the weird format here. So 2022, not that long ago I picked this up. And it's staying in my pile. No Visitors. HTML Flowers. Oh, this is who did that zine. I don't know their real name, I'm realizing. I know them as HTML Flowers. I used to listen to their SoundCloud beats. Another kind of like slice of life comic. This person has chronic illness and is, writes about those experiences. I like their style a lot. I was really interested in this book. I love the cover. Yeah. It's a keeper for sure. Got a couple issues of it. Got a few more issues of Trashbird Comics. We did several printings, so I have one of each printing. This is our Halloween issue we did. I drew this guy. He's kind of like the host, if there was like a, like a crypt keeper thing. I did the lettering for this table of contents here. I think I drew this while I was on tour. I think I was in the van, in the car, whatever we were driving. I was on tour when I drew this stuff. So we got a bunch of different works from a bunch of different people in here. Yeah. Not my greatest work. Another comic by my wife here, right here. My wife here, right here. These are pretty sick. And he's putting razors in the candy. I think I showed this one already. Yep, this is another edition of that. This was the first edition we did. We actually did 3 printings of this one, I believe. Unless I just have a couple issues that I kept. Oh, here's a comic I did. Yeah. Of course I'm going to keep these. I really like how this one came out. This is a really cool one. This is really cool too. Yeah, this was the first issue we did. We did this as a number 0 just to test the waters. Yeah, 3rd printing. You can see some of my old sketches here on the margins. And it says a message from our editor, Matt Hall. This is before we identified Chris and I as co-editors. Now, he was the co-editor. I'm not sure why I'm just listed as the only editor here. That's odd, because in issue number 1, co-founders. So, maybe Chris was just feeling like giving me the spotlight. I don't think I argued for that. More Don Simpson stuff, right? 1963. So this is scripted by Alan Moore. Pencils by Roar and Rick Veitch. Immaculate Inks by Dave Gibbons. Lyrical Letters by Dandy Don Simpson. Yeah, so this was a sort of like an alternate universe, comics universe thing that Alan Moore was cooking up with Image back in the day. I don't think they ever got to finish this. Although, I will say, there was like a 1963. So the the joke is it's from 1963. Like there's fake ads as if it was from the 60s. Another fake ad here. Don Simpson recently put out this 1963 annual and did it without the consent of Alan Moore. This is a pretty fun book. It's not like, it's not exactly what the annual would have been. There was supposed to be an annual that was supposed to come out way back in the day. It never did. But if you like the other 1963 stuff, you'll probably find a lot to like here. I like Don Simpson's stuff. You can tell what kind of artist he is here. He's got the ladies on the wall. Now, I'll admit, I've also got some ladies on my wall. So, it's true. It's true. So, that's fun stuff. And there is a handful of other 1963 books. I think I have almost all of them now. I think. I'm not positive if I do or not. But it's a very fun series, and it's also the last book in my first long box. So, here I've got a good stack of stuff to get rid of. This is the authentic history of fair trade. I didn't count this as a comic. It's a comic about fair trade coffee. I'm not even showing it in focus. So this is stuff I'm going to go through one more time, organize it, make sure it's cleaned up, and find a good home for it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there's someone in the Discord that wants a bunch of comics. I got to find out who might want a bunch of comics. So, I'll figure that out. But in the meantime, thanks for hanging out. This is, honestly, it was very good for me. Hopefully it was at least a little bit interesting for you. And I'll be doing another one of these. I got another long box to go through. All right, see ya.